This meeting of the Cromwell Board of Education to order at 7 o'clock p.m. Alessandra, would you take roll call, please?
Mrs. Campbell? Here. Mrs. Collier? Here. Ms. Franklin? Here. Mrs. Gallagher?
Here.
Mrs. Lumberson?
I'm sorry, what?
Mrs. Post? Mrs. Russ?
Here.
Mr. Truman?
Here.
Mr. Zabrowski?
Yeah, is that?
Devin Riggio? Here. Olivia Polkowski? Mr. Fortenbach? Mr. Ireland? Or Jill Ritchie? Roll call is complete.
Okay, thank you. And we do have an update to our agenda. We want to add action item for an out-of-state field trip for Cromwell High School. So we'll add that to new business item C. And this isn't an item to add to the agenda, but I wanted to mention that we're going to move the curriculum presentation from April to May. So with that, is there a motion to approve the amended agenda?
Motion.
Thanks, Catherine. Is there a second? Lori, all in favor? Oppose? Abstentions? Motion carries. The agenda is complete and approved. Next on our agenda, we have celebrating faculty and staff. And for that, it looks like we have Woodside.
Yes.
Mr. Butwell, would you like to come on up and introduce?
Hi, everyone. Are we starting with staff tonight? Or students?
Staff usually.
Staff,
It's up to you.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little error.
Okay, I'll start with staff then. All right. So tonight, during celebrating our staff, we are recognizing someone who brings their A game every day to Woodside, someone who's always positive, someone who's a wonderful example of Woodside pride, and that person is one of our custodians, Franco Sorrentino. And Franco's here. Franco, you want to come on up? I got a couple things to say, so. So I wanted to say that this is my 10th year as principal at Woodside. Franco has been there since I first arrived, and from day one, I have always been impressed with Franco's positive attitude, friendly smile and laugh, and his incredible work ethic. I see Franco nearly every day, and he always greets me with a friendly, "Hey, Mr. B." And whenever I ask Franco to do something, his response is, "No problem, Mr. B." And he always gets it done. It doesn't matter for a new student who will be arriving tomorrow, or even, and this just happened a few weeks ago, moving around tables for our science fair projects so that they could be seen because some of our hallway lights suddenly stopped working. So he's wonderful. Franco is at Woodside every day. He's making sure our classrooms are clean, the hallways are spotless, and everything shines. He takes great pride in the work he does, and while he does his work, he spreads happiness and a positive attitude throughout the building. Everyone at WIS knows that he does his best work when he has his music playing. Franco is loved throughout the building, and so I asked our teachers to send me a few thoughts or a favorite memory about Franco, which I would like to share with you tonight. So here we go. For those of you who may not work at WIS, you may not know about Franco's love of music. As soon as the last bus rolls away, the hallways are instantly filled with great classics that Franco provides to keep him company as he works. On occasion, Franco will join in on the lyrics, which he knows every word of. Just a typical weekday afternoon that teachers and staff soon become accustomed to that's re-energizing. It re-energizes them for the rest of the day. Thanks for the tunes, Franco, and for all that you do. Next, you always know when Franco was working in the building because there was fun and loud music playing. I had a chair that was super broken a few years ago. I left it at the front of the room, and the student who owned the chair left a cute note saying, "Please fix me, I'm so broken." Franco fixed and left a return note. He drew Spider-Man's face, which said, "This was fixed by your friendly neighborhood fix-it man." I love hearing Franco's music blasting after school, and he's singing along. It always makes me smile. When I started at WIS, he was so friendly and welcoming, and even helped me rearrange my heavy furniture on a Friday afternoon. My first encounter with Franco was when I was mysteriously locked out of the main office. He gladly stopped what he was doing to help me, and he did it with a big smile on his face. He was very kind, helpful, and easy to talk to, traits that would make anyone feel comfortable and grateful. I'm so excited that Franco is being recognized. He is such a wonderful presence at WIS and the most musical person in the building. This is from one of the music teachers. Franco Sinatra, as many call him, always cracks me up as he croons in the halls and rooms and would put on all sorts of Sinatra tunes on the gym PA and sing along as he helped us take down chairs and risers after concerts, and always has been a wonderful figure for students and staff alike. I don't think I've ever seen Franco in a bad mood, and he truly takes pride in his work. He loves building relationships with staff and students. In fact, several years ago, he bought me a copy of Aaron Copland's What to Listen For in Music that he found in a bookstore that he frequented, and he thought I'd appreciate it. It's been on my desk for three years now, and it is a great reminder of people taking time to learn about the people they work with every day and build the community that is Woodside. Franco is the heart and soul of Woodside Intermediate School. Franco encompasses what it means to have Woodside pride. He is kind and respectful to all staff and students. Anything that a teacher needs, Franco is your go-to guy. Franco has great taste in music and knows the lyrics to every song recorded in the 70s and 80s. He is always happy and smiling. He goes out of his way to help teachers with anything they may need. My first few years of teaching, I'd spend most nights burning the midnight oil, as he calls it. Being a young teacher, my family often worried about me staying so late by myself, but I never once felt alone or uneasy. Franco always checked in on me and offered to walk me to my car if I ever felt unsafe. The sound of Frank Sinatra playing on the radio and Franco singing, which echoed the halls, was always a comfort to hear. Thank you, Franco, for your many years of dedicated service and putting a smile on so many faces each and every day. I have been in Franco's wing for all 10 years that I have worked at Woodside. He not only takes care of our room well, but looks after the kids and me anytime we make an additional request. We are adding more work to his already full plate, and he helps us with a smile and a no problem. He is personable and genuine and never makes anyone feel badly for interrupting his flow to unlock a door, fix a chair, or lower a table. He is an invaluable member of the WIS family. When I worked in the fourth grade hallway, some of the fourth grade teachers wanted to have a contest to see which room could be the cleanest at the end of the day. We asked Franco to help us by grading our rooms for us. He was so good about it. Not only did he jump all in with the grading by writing our score on the whiteboard, he also covered it up so we could have a big reveal in the mornings. The kids loved it. We ended up making a trophy for the winning class, and he presented it to the winner. He will help with whatever we need of him. I'm happy he is being recognized for his work. And I'll close with this last one. Franco always brightens my day. He is nothing but kind, positive, and helpful. He also reminds me to go home and enjoy my time off. WIS is lucky to have someone as dedicated as you, Franco. So on behalf of everyone at Woodside, I just want to say, Franco, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr. B.
Good guy.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. B. This on?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this thing on? I really appreciate this. I'm just doing my job. That's how I look at it. Nothing special. I'm grateful that I was hired by the Board of Education. When I came here in 2008, it was during the recession. And I remember applying for the job and getting called back and forth a lot by Rick Mandeville at the time. And wondering what's going on. It's like back and forth with, interviews, back and forth. And and lo and behold, I get the job. And because my company had just gone out of the country, they moved to Canada, so everybody lost their jobs. So I just wanted to get a good job and good insurance for my kids and stuff like that. So I applied at Woodside. It was Woodside at the time for the Woodside building over there. It had just gotten built not too long ago, and so back and forth. Finally, Rick was kind of hesitant at the time, and then, reason being, because he said, we're not going to pay you what you make over there, and I'm afraid you're going to use this as a step. So I said, no. I said, I need insurance for my kids. I said, no. I said, that's why. So, and then, lo and behold, I get hired, and after that, he tells me there were at the time, there was 244 applicants. So I am grateful to the Woodside Board of Education, the Board of Education in the town of Cromwell, that I got hired, and I never take my job for granted, because I got chosen on almost 244 applicants, which is it just takes me back when I think about that. And that was during the recession, so, and that it got down to me and I got chosen. I was very grateful for that, and I always keep that next to my heart, and I always try to do the best I can and never take anything for granted, you know. And so with that being said, I'm grateful that you guys are recognizing me, but at the same time, I'd like to take this opportunity. I'm just one piece of the puzzle. I'd like to recognize my coworkers and friends, Amanda Benitez, Christine Haswell, Matt Warzeka, and our newcomer that just came on board, Arthur Thomas, which he's also a great guy. We all work together as a unit, trying to keep the building safe, clean, and secure for the staff, for the public, and that's what it's about. We're a family unit. We're all a family at Woodside. The Woodside building is phenomenal. It's everyone there works together. The teachers, I see it in everybody. When you go to a certain place, you become a family. Whether you like it or not, it's like your second family. So let's just get along and do the best we can, right? That's how I look at it. And so that being said, that's why I like to acknowledge my coworkers, and because I'm just one piece of the puzzle. Together, we get the job done. You know, and I'm not special than Amanda or Arthur or Christine or Matthew. You know, we all work together as one, and I also like to recognize them because together we all get the job done. When I'm not there, the job still gets done. And I also like to recognize all the other custodians at the high school, at the middle school, and at ECS, because all together we all keep the building safe, secure, and you know, clean for you guys. And we try to do the best we can for, like I said, the staff, the public. And that's what it's about, just trying to do the best you can every day. And every day, you know, sometimes it's hard. You know, you come in, you have things certain going on. It's hard to put your private things aside, but you move forward. You teachers, I give you guys a lot of credit because you deal with all the students and everybody, and you can't really, and I'm sure they give you enough, you know, whether it be in first grade to 12th grade, you know. So, but that's what it's about, just working together. And like I said, I like to acknowledge all my fellow custodians. I don't think I'm anything. I appreciate Mr. B for you acknowledging me, and but like I said, it's all of us together, all the custodians all together, keeping all the buildings clean and safe and secure for the public, for the staff. We're all one. All of us are one. You know, whether we like it or not, we're a family. So we all get along. We do the best we can. And I thank you guys. I really appreciate it, but I gotta get back to work now and finish my section, okay? So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Franco, and thank you, Mr. Butwell, for recognizing him. I remember back to my PTO days, and if I saw Franco in the hallway, I knew I was all set for our event. So, congratulations.
That's 100% correct. And we do have a great custodial team at Woodside, so.
Definitely do.
Okay. All right, next we have some wonderful students to recognize. And I'm going to have Ryan come up, and Sophia, and Alana. So tonight, during celebrating our students, we're recognizing some amazing Woodside students that went above and beyond with their fundraising to help support an important cause. During our Heart Healthy Month of February, students participated in a fundraiser that was organized by our phys ed teachers, Elizabeth Kozakowski and Penny Blavel. The fundraiser supported the American Heart Association and was called the Kids Heart Challenge. This challenge taught students about kids with special hearts while being asked to raise funds for the health of all hearts. Our three students we would like to recognize tonight not only focused on being kind and being active throughout the challenge, but they were also our top three fundraisers. All three students said they enlisted the help of their parents to reach out to family members and people they know to help support the fundraiser. So let me just give you a quick introduction to them. We have Alana Vardelos. She's a grade 4 student from Mrs. Presley's Multi-Age. She raised $785.86. And when I talked to Alana about it, she said, I wanted to help the kids with special hearts because if I was in that situation, I wouldn't like it. Next we have Ryan Latoile from grade 3, Miss Baker's room. And Ryan said she motivated herself to be both kind and active by doing 20 push-ups or sit-ups every time she raised $100. She said, I wanted to help the kids with special hearts to reach their dreams and to do all the normal things I get to do. And we also have Sophia Galeska, grade 4, from Mrs. Marchese's room. And Sophia raised $302.59. And she said, I really wanted to help people with special hearts because it can be really scary for the families. So tonight we recognize these 3 wonderful students for their kindness and compassion and fundraising abilities also. And here we go. So great job.
Did you want to take a moment for a photo op?
They don't have any comments tonight.
Does anyone want to take a photo? Congratulations, girls.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have any correspondence? I have none. Okay. Are there any public comments? Okay, seeing none. We'll move on to the report from student representatives. And we have the high school representatives with us who would like to start.
Hello.
Olivia?
Student Council successfully ran a Red Cross Blood Organization event. It was a great turnout and we hope to do it again in the near future. Cromwell High School Drama Club performed The Wedding Singer and took the audience back to the 80s. It was a great success. Student Council is also planning a homecoming dance on March 25th. National Honor Society is participating in a Munson's fundraiser and they made treats for teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week. They also collabed with the Spanish National Honor Society to raise support for Ukraine. Cromwell's in-school SAT Day for juniors is scheduled for tomorrow, March 23rd. Students have recently finished the course selection process for the 2022-23 school year, and prom is coming soon to juniors and seniors, and tickets will be selling Monday, March 28th to April 29th.
For sports, the winter sports season has come to an end and the spring season has begun. We had several athletes receive recognition in their respective sports for the winter. For boys basketball, Gianluca Albert received first team all-conference and was named Shoreline Player of the Year. Victor Payne received second team all-conference and JJ Feehan received an honorable mention. The team also won the Shoreline Championship. For girls basketball, Nevaeh Clark and Jessica Grodzicki received first team all-conference, Adela Sechuahan received second team all-conference, and Cameron Hickey received an honorable mention. The girls cheerleading team placed first at the Shoreline competition. They competed in the Class S state championship and placed in the top 5. Emily Sousa received the Shoreline Player of the Year award. Emily, as well as Bridget Russ and Madison Rhodes, made the all-state cheerleading team. Bridget, Madison, and Michaela Wasik made first team all-conference, and Rebecca Lewis made second team all-conference. The boys ice hockey team won the CCC regular South Division championship as well as the Class S state championship. Congratulations to all winter sports teams and athletes. Spring sports started practicing this Saturday, March 19th, and are preparing for the first games in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of our student athletes. Does anyone have any questions, comments? No? Okay, thank you both. Next, on to reports of liaisons from the Town Council and Board of Finance. Do we have anyone here? Sorry, not here? Okay. And Dr. Macri, Superintendent's updates and responses to Board of Ed comments and action items from our prior meeting.
Just quickly, you'll notice we removed reopening plan update because listening to Devin and Olivia has made us realize just how reopened we really are for kids. And hearing all of their accomplishments and about all your prom updates and your dance updates and everything that you are all planning literally brings tears to my eyes because we have really gone through hell together the last couple of years. But I'm so proud of you and so happy to see you guys excited about all the things that you missed, and we're going to make up for it. I always joke about having the banner that says Home of the Champions because I like to show people we're the home of the champions instead of telling them we're the home of the champions. But I think this season we did a pretty darn good job with showing people that we're the home of the champions. So I'm incredibly proud, and I am so happy for all of you. Let's hope that this keeps going in this direction because our kids are happier than they've ever been. we do have a lot of things to address with our students, helping them basically get back to what is their new normal, socially, emotionally, academically, all around. But I want you both to know, and I want all of our kids to know and our families, that we are invested in making sure that we do that for you and take care of you the best that we can. I see Miss Maher here. We won't celebrate her tonight because she's not officially not on the celebrations, but she did get her 300th win. So we're going to share that celebration in the future. We have our cheerleaders to celebrate. We have our basketball players to celebrate, our hockey players. There's just so much to celebrate. So we will do that in the future. But congratulations to all of you. And I'm just so happy to see all of us almost back on track. Let's hope we can stay on that track.
Okay, any questions? All right, old business, we have none. New business, tonight we have Cromwell Middle School building project. We have an update from the chair of the Town Building Committee, Rosanna Glynn. I sent you all a link to it if you'd like to look at it on your device, but it'll also be projected if we can make that happen. Just make sure your mic is on. Push the red button.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you all for having me here today. I'm really excited to talk about our middle school project. This is the only picture I got, but that's the middle school in case you're unfamiliar with it. Next slide, please. So this is just agenda. Next slide, please. So the town of Cromwell, the town council elected these members as part of the CMS building committee.
Rosanna, can you just push your mic down a little bit so that people can hear you online?
That better?
Yes, thanks.
So this is our building committee, and I'm going to get into a little bit what the building committee actually is in a second. So I'm the chairperson. Vice chair is Shannon Hughes-Brown. We have a bunch of members and alternates, all diverse backgrounds, all from different professions. Really good selection and mixture of people here. We are working wonderfully together. Great group of people. So why do we have this committee? What's it for? Next slide, please. So we have a purpose. And our purpose is to collaborate with, we have a project management group, construction solutions group. Their sub-suppliers, the Board of Education, the Superintendent of Schools, faculty, staff, and the Cromwell community to create a new or renovated middle school that addresses all major issues observed today. And I'll get into a little bit of that as well. So we have a plan to either create a new middle school or renovate the current middle school. Our immediate need is to work towards getting a state grant. So the boxes highlighted in color there are what our immediate needs are. So the committee's been selected. Right now we're working through estimates, trying to get ideas from the architect about some concepts for the new middle school, and then we get to do the fun work of trying to get all the approvals through the town before June. And if all goes well, then we'll go into the real work of getting quotes, designs, and then construction. The goal is to have a brand new school or renovated school by 2025. Next slide, please. So this is just a short timeline. We are sprinting to get to this grant submittal to the state of Connecticut by the end of June. So right now, so actually tomorrow we have a meeting. Everyone's welcome, by the way. It's an open meeting at the middle school, 7 p.m. We are going to have a presentation by Tecton, who is the architect who was selected to give us some proposals, some ideas for the new middle school. We are going to take that information, and then by next week, we will be able to determine, we being the building committee, will be able to determine if we're going to go with a brand new middle school or a renovated middle school. And there's a lot of things that go into that decision. Obviously, there's a financial part of it, but more importantly is, what can the current middle school support with the current structure that it has? Can it actually be renovated to do everything we want it to do? So this is just the timeline that really gets us to that June date. Next slide, please. So what is it that we want the middle school to do? Like, why are we even considering the middle school, right? So there's a laundry list of problems with the middle school right now. If you're unaware, come talk to me. I can spend a couple hours going through every single one of them with you. But I pretty much highlighted the major ones on this slide, and the ones in red are really the ones that are the biggest pain points right now for the middle school and the middle school community. Undersized classrooms. The classrooms are just simply put, they're too small. They're too small for our standards, and they're too small for the Connecticut school grant committee standards. They need to be bigger. We don't even meet ADA requirements. Wheelchair access is a problem. I mean, if you just go into the auditorium, it's kind of a nightmare for anyone with a physical disability. Lighting is poor. Just, again, laundry list of issues with the middle school. And mind you, for those of you unaware, the middle school was built in the 1950s. That was before I was born. So it really hasn't been renovated much since then. They've Band-Aid here and there. Dr. Macri could probably spend a good couple hours telling you about all the expenses that the middle school has with their plumbing, their HVAC, just constantly dumping money to fix that school because it's just old. So we have a lot of infrastructure issues. We have a lot of issues with the HVAC system, and those are not simple things to fix. I don't know if anyone is familiar with HVAC systems, but with this school, especially since it was built in the 1950s, every time you have to fix something, you really have to go through concrete and just, it's a nightmare. And then the last thing I have there in red is that the school is not equipped for any kind of STEAM learning right now. So STEAM learning. So, adequate space for engineering type classes, for arts. If you wanted to have any kind of videography or, photography type of areas, you really don't have that today. It's shared space. It's a little ridiculous if you look at it and you compare it to all our schools around us and our neighboring schools and all these high-tech schools that are popping up. We are way behind the times when it comes to STEAM learning. It's really a disservice to our students and to our community as a whole. So we are going to create a new building or renovate the new building to basically fix this list and make all this go away if possible. That's our main goal. Next slide, please. Just quickly for correspondence guidelines, I know as we get into the thick of it, there's going to be a lot of questions from the board, from the public. People want to know something. So these are just some correspondence measures that we're going to take. All correspondence should go through the administrative assistant, Lisa Hicks, and then she will send it off to me, and then I will bring it up with the rest of the committee. We'll discuss it at our committee meetings. Next slide. And that was pretty much it. Our next meeting is tomorrow night. All are welcome to come and listen. We have a special meeting on the 30th to make our decision if we're going to go with a new or renovated building. We have a website that is actually live. I didn't get a chance to add the link here, but I can send it off. So the website will give you all the up-to-date information as to what's going on with the building committee and our meeting minutes and whatnot. That's it. Do I have any questions from the board?
Couple questions.
Yes.
Do the board members, your building committee members, report back to the different boards? Like, I know we get updates from Selena, but I know there's town council. I believe there's a town council. I know there's a board of finance member on there. Do they report back Or are you guys, or you as a board chair responsible for reporting to the different Board of Finance and Town Council in town?
Yeah, so I've been speaking very closely with the Board of Finance. We have someone from the Board of Finance on our committee, Matt
Matt
Blanchett. And I speak all the time with Selena and Dr. Macri and some town council members. So we're constantly collaborating and talking as needed. They're all invited to our meeting, obviously, and some do show up and listen in to what we're talking about and some of the conversations that are happening in the background. Any major decisions that have to be made we'll go through the Board of Ed as needed. It's part of our charter that we're actually approving tomorrow night. So I can give you a copy of the charter so you can see where the responsibilities are laid out. But
Charter is made.
We have that somewhere, don't we?
No, so there's a charter from the town that we have to follow basically on when we have
Right.
to submit what and when we're going to
Right.
what meeting and all of that. So we met, Rosanna, myself, Matt, Town Manager Salvatore, and Mary Ann Sylvester. Was someone else there?
Karen.
Goodness, I can't remember. Oh, Karen from CSG.
Yeah.
And got a lot of our questions answered so that Rosanna created that timeline. I think the complicated thing is everything is happening simultaneously.
Yes.
We did send an email. Lisa, who's the secretary, the administrative assistant for this board, sent an email to Board of Finance members, Common Council, Town Council members. I see one in the audience, and I'm so happy that she's here tonight, inviting them to come to every meeting so that they learn about what's going on. So all of that has been sent out. I can't make people come. I know people are busy, but hopefully they're either watching online or attend the meetings so that they're in sync with what we're doing. We also have all the minutes on that live agenda site, which it's live now. I just wanted to double check because I have to be very careful on how we, how we address it versus the committee, because this is a community project. So I wanted to just make sure that I could e-blast just informational messages to families. For example, this is the link to the Cromwell Middle School potential building project online, and this is where you can find it. I wasn't sure if I could technically do that from my office or if it had to come from the political action group, the parent group that's being formed. So I got the approval. As long as it's informational, I'm only telling people where to look for information, I could do that. So I am trying to be very careful to make sure, because we haven't had a building project in the schools in 18 years, and I was not the superintendent in the last one that I did. I was the assistant, so I learned as much as I could, but every charter is different, so you have to be really careful. Rosanna really is the lead on this project with the building committee, but any questions that anybody has for the academic piece component or all of that,
Right.
our ed specs will be coming back to you because we did make a couple revisions on April 5th. There's been so many changes at OS&G up at the state. You probably have seen it in the newspaper. Things that you didn't have to have in ed specs before, you really have to make sure that you have in now. So we want to make sure
Yeah,
nothing
we
gets
saw the news
kicked.
clips about it.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. We
No.
don't want that to happen. So it got kicked back to us. They're getting updated. They'll be brought to the building committee, and then they'll be brought to the Board of Ed for your second approval.
So I just have a couple more questions. I'm sure either one of you can answer. Are you going to be posting the meeting dates on the website? And I'm hoping we'll let our community know that the website's live. Meetings will be posted. Are public allowed to attend the meetings? And along with that, when we live stream them, is it similar to Board of Ed meetings where you can go back and watch it, or is it live stream and gone?
Been live streamed.
there's no live stream
There's no live
capability
stream.
at the middle
There is
school.
no live stream ability in the middle school.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
No, this meeting. Okay. No. Okay. I'm sorry, we invited, Lisa invited, all the Board of Finance, Town Council to attend Board of Ed meetings where we'll have updates And if they can't come, this meeting is live streamed. Yeah, that one, that meeting can't be live streamed. We have minutes, and on the website, it has the list of all the dates of the meeting. So if people want to attend, every date is listed, time, place, and all the agendas and the minutes are also posted as well.
Are we allowed to post a link to that website on our Board of Ed?
Yes, that website is the PAC committee website. We could post, yes, we could do that. We're allowed to do that. These are all the things that we're learning, which is why it's taken a little bit of time, but I want to make sure we're doing it correctly. So yes, that should. The public definitely allowed to attend the meetings. I talked about like moving the tables to the side so that they can hear a little bit more about what's going on. But I encourage everyone to attend and for everyone to really start talking about this project so that the word gets out there about what we're doing and what we're trying to do. And hopefully, we'll get somewhere. Like I said, I know the community needs a lot of things. I'm your superintendent of schools, and those are the people that I take care of the most, first and foremost. And we need a new school. Cromwell, we are way behind our times. The middle school is obsolete. We cannot teach. We can barely teach science. We don't even have labs in our rooms. And you've heard my sob story. I'm here to help get us through the project. I want nothing except for getting us through the project for our kids. That's why I signed up for this job. So
Tommy's presentation that he gave at the Board of Finance and Town Council meetings was not recorded, correct? Because I don't think they can record theirs, and he never presented that to us at the Board of Ed.
Yeah, remember I asked the board if you wanted me to present, but I could. We could very easily present it. I could just send it to you. Do you want me to present it?
Well, if we could just have it for the
Yeah.
public to see, because there were
Oh,
things.
it's on there.
There
Yeah.
are things in there that I have a child that goes to that school, and I was shocked.
It is
This was something that-
slightly mortifying.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's on that website too, but I could send
Okay,
it
that's
to you.
fine.
Yes, yep.
available for-
And that'll be part of the historical talking points too, when when the PAC and everyone, at this point, everyone can talk about the project. We're not at the silent point yet, so we can all talk about it, and obviously just inform people and let them know. Just as important as the structure of the building is bad, the academic component, the reason why we're here, and that's why people, it's one of the number one reasons why people move to towns is because of the school system. So we are behind. Rocky Hill is ahead of us, Middletown's ahead of us, Glastonbury's ahead of us. They have built their schools. They have STEAM programs. We do not. Our kids deserve it. And they deserve to learn in a healthy learning environment. And so does our staff. They deserve to work in a healthy learning environment too. So any questions can be addressed to Rosanna, the building committee. Please come. I'm more than happy to passionately answer any questions about what I want for our students.
I'd like to add too, in general, our meetings are every other Wednesday. We have a special meeting, like I mentioned earlier, next Wednesday, but it'll be every Wednesday after that, every other Wednesday after that. So April vacation, there's no meeting during that week, so it's on either side of it.
So tomorrow, Cromwell Middle School, 7 o'clock.
Yep, in the media center. And I really love as many people to attend as possible. Like Dr. Macri said, the more people who have ears on it and talk about it in the town. This town loves to talk. We want to get the word out, so.
And we want to make sure the right, I get questions that we're building an arcade. Like, no, we're not building an arcade. So I think we need to make sure that we inform people properly and make sure that they get the correct message. And the only way that will happen is if people show up and ask questions and we have open lines of communication. And at the end of the day, it is up to the community as to whether or not they want to build a new school or renovate or is new or not. I hope to see that happen, not for anything, but because it's needed.
Will the parent action committee, will they be reaching out to the greater community? Is that why they're being formed?
Yes. Yep. we haven't officially identified a lead for that. It's being worked on this week. We have a couple of people who are interested. Anyone who is interested in joining that, please let me know, and I will direct you to the person or people that you should be talking to. But they will be reaching out to the committee. And on a side note, we also have a Facebook page and an Instagram that Lisa built for us as well. So we're going to get all this information out on those platforms as well. So please join those sites if you have Facebook or Instagram. I don't think it's on TikTok. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Alessandra, can you add that to the minutes too? Maybe a link to it in the minutes? Thank you. Any other questions for Rosanna? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for, first of all, taking this on. We're so happy to have you, and for putting this awesome presentation together. And
You're
for
welcome.
all your hard work.
Thank you. Hope everyone's as excited as I am for this, by the way. It's going to be a good one. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, next on our agenda, action item, approval of minutes and motions from our March 8th regular meeting, reference A. Is there a motion to approve? Alan, is there a second? Dipti, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Catherine Russ abstaining. All right. Let's see. Motion is passed. We added a field trip, approval of a field trip. Mr. Kulka, would you like to come on up and explain the field trip request for us? And the reason for the add-on, of course.
Yeah, so the field trip is for our junior class to the Newport Mansions. It's a trip that we used to do many moons ago, and we did not put this forward for an out-of-state last time because they had a vaccine mandate requirement for those mansions, which was surprising. And we were hopeful that they might lift it, and they actually just recently did lift that vaccine mandate. So now we can open that enrollment to all of our students, who would like to attend, juniors from the junior class. And that is the big reason for the add-on. So it's a trip that hopefully we can run and send a group of students. It ties into the Gilded Age with their curriculum that they're learning for United States history to see the mansions and go on the mansion tours in Newport, Rhode Island.
Sounds fabulous. Any questions? Lori?
Is that open to all juniors, or is it just certain classes that would?
We open it to all juniors, but usually with athletics and other activities that are going on, because the trip goes in May, we end up sending usually about 50 students or so that end up being able to go, and it accommodates their schedule.
So everyone who wants to go can go?
Pretty much. We don't, when it comes to buses, we might have a wait list of 8 to 10 kids or so that maybe can't make it because then another bus costs a lot of money.
And do they pay
Yep.
for that trip?
Yep.
So there's a
Yeah.
okay.
So it's a cost per student. It was typically around $50 for the trip.
Can I also, just to piggyback off of this conversation, because of COVID, a lot of PTAs and a lot of groups have not been able to fundraise. So we want to start going on field trips this year, but it will be a greater cost to families than until we make up the money that we didn't make. Obviously, we know our families that are families in need, and that we would never want to hold any students back financially because there's financial issues. So we have a process in place with outreach with our social workers, but they are going to cost slightly more than they have cost in the past because the funds are not there from the PTAs and ticket sales and things like that we usually can pay for.
Yeah.
But
And this trip the junior trip was always pretty
Paid.
much self-funded.
Paid,
Yeah. We went to 9/11 Museum, did that for about 4 years or so, and we did the mansion tours, going back several years and whatnot.
So that's just a day trip then. They leave
Yeah.
early in the morning, come back at
Yep,
night.
they leave. They leave right around 7:30 in the morning, and then they get back usually not until close to about 5 or 6 o'clock at night, which that's where it impacts our student athletes, which, we have over 200 spring athletes. So obviously that puts them in a difficult spot with games and contests of that nature.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? Catherine, second. Kelly, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Have fun on the field trip.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, next we have policies that are up for a second read. Item A is a second read and possible approval for the Suicide Prevention and Intervention Series, reference B. Any questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve? Dipty, second. Matt, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion approved. Policy approved, excuse me. Next one is Plan for Minority Educator Recruitment, Series 4000, reference C. Is there a motion to approve? Or if you have any questions, I apologize. Question. Motion to approve? Okay, by Lori, second. Catherine, all in favor? Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Policy is approved. Next, we have a first read and possible approval. This is Prohibition Against Smoking, Series 1000, reference D. Are there any questions on this one? And we do not have to approve this one tonight. It's just for, if you have any questions, we'll respond. But if not, we'll save it for the next meeting. Anything? Okay. Okay. And then we go back to second read. I didn't notice that. Okay, this one is on for a second read. Was C a mistake? Should that have been a second read?
Did we get to it? Yeah, you thought we got to it. Last.
Lori, do you recall from policy?
We got to it. The weighted grading and calculation of grade.
No, the prohibition against smoking.
Oh, sorry.
Item C, it says first read and possible approval, but should it have read second read?
I should have read second read. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yep. You're right.
All right, so then is there a motion to approve that policy?
I have a question. Does it include that outstanding question that we discussed in our policy committee about the
About the
location
parking
of
lots?
parking lots?
No, I don't. I'll get an answer for that, but based on Tommy's response, I'm pretty sure every district has their own. But I don't even want to say that. I just checked to see if I got a response from our council, and I haven't.
Can we hold off on that one then until we get response from
Yeah,
council? Okay,
sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll leave that one as is. And we'll move on to the second read for the weighted grading and calculation
Well, I
of
mean, is that what
GPA.
everybody wants? I'm sorry.
I think so.
It was so basically what happened is in some districts, parking lots are not. So it's 25 feet out your door, and Catherine can explain it a little bit better, and she's on the policy committee. So if you want to explain it, Catherine.
So basically, this one and another policy that we're going to bring forth at the next meeting, I think, it's worded that it's out 25 feet outside your door, and it's unclear because in some districts, parking lots are considered town property and not school property. So although the town has passed, but not to the degree that we have, some of these laws, they're more parks related. So we want to make sure that our parking lots are included in these no smoking policies and no cannabis and e-cigarettes and all that other good stuff, which is one's in here, one's in another one. So I'd like to hold off because we're waiting to hear from council whether or not our parking lots are considered school property. So an adjacent town does not consider their parking lot to be school property. So the school rules,
It shouldn't.
town rules apply, but not school rules. So
Is that going to change the policy at all? The wording of it, either way, if it is? You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think we just need clarification of, well, it depends. I think it depends upon what the answer will be from.
Because you
Council.
want it specifically spelled out. Is that what
Well,
you're
we want to
saying?
make sure that we own them before we.
Right, but we still would have the we're still going to adopt the policy.
Yeah, the first paragraph, and that's what Catherine was referring to last time. Basically, the way the first, and this is legislation, that's why I'm waiting for council, is it says within any of its schools, including any area of school building, including but not limited to any indoor facility owned or leased or contracted for. I mean, it goes on to make you believe on or on the grounds that the parking lot is included, but it's not really It's not specified, and
And we can't include it if
Right,
it's
we
not
c-
school
if it's-
property.
Right,
So
so,
we could go to the town and ask for something if it's town property, but
and they've passed their,
it's parks really, it's very specific, and it doesn't necessarily include, we'd have to ask them if it would include this. So I'd rather wait to get get word from,
whatever you all
Do you,
decide is
do you need
fine
it
with me.
approved by a certain date? No. Okay. Then
It's the second read, yeah. Should be the second read. No, everyone, I mean,
the issue is that in another town, they had COVID rules in place at the high school level, and the high school said you cannot do X, Y, and Z, but the parking lot was excluded from those COVID rules. So originally they were told you can't do this in the parking lot, but then they said people found out, well, the parking lot is actually owned by the town, and the town rules are different, and we are allowed to do what we want to do in the parking lot because the town allows it, although the high school does not. So this is where this policy could get really sticky.
the town just passed a similar ordinance, though, I
But
believe,
it doesn't,
about
it's similar.
all public places.
It's, you gotta read it. I don't think I'm not sure it would necessarily include our parking lots. Because it's sidewalks and parks.
Well, we can
Yeah,
follow
we-
up and just
yeah,
add it to
so-
the next,
if that's
the next
whatever,
one
yeah,
then.
I don't.
So if it is town related, then we can look at theirs, but if it's not town related, we can approve it as is.
Okay, we'll hold off for now then. All right, so then we just have the weighted grading and calculation of GPA, reference E. Any questions on that one? Jen?
Andrew or Carrie.
No, it disappeared. Sorry, in the second to, oh no, it's not the second. On the first page, second to last paragraph, I just see that it mentions class rank, and I thought we did away with class rank. It says to determine weighted grade point average and class rank, the number of credits earned is divided into the sum of the weighted grade point values.
So we did away. We're phasing out class rank. So we have our current 9th graders, no class rank for them. Incoming 8th graders, same thing, but with our
Still there.
current, well, obviously with our seniors, but our current 10th and 11th graders, we're going to phase it out. So they still have rank. On top of, we do have state law now, where we have to report class rank percentile for the free admissions program for the Board of Regents. So that's something that we figured we'd keep in the policy because it is still relevant for us in some capacity. We could always be more specific on that and come back to it.
We
maybe.
have to be able to calculate it. We don't have to write it.
Report it, yeah. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, on a list by rank.
Any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve this policy? Okay, Lori, second. Kelly, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Policy is approved. And we have none on for first read. And down to board committee reports, policy committee. February 8th is listed as, we had a meeting tonight as well, so does anyone want to give any updates from that meeting? Lori?
Well, we had it was like almost a 2-hour meeting tonight because there was a lot of mandated stuff that had to go through. But Dr. Macri was talking about adding another, it's not on the schedule now, but adding another policy meeting for next month. Would it be what did we say, the 19th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one that just got canceled, facilities
Yeah.
was just
Yeah,
canceled? Okay.
Cancel
Yeah.
that and add, right.
Yeah, cancel the facilities and add policy instead, and that would be at 6 o'clock, because we don't need 2 hours again. So.
Okay. Great. And I have nothing from facilities and technology, since Rosanna gave that for us tonight about this Cromwell Middle School project. Topics for future agendas and possible action to approve additional topics. Does anyone have anything? All right, and I just want to remind us all that the curriculum presentation will be moved to May. That was originally for April. All right, comments, updates, and announcements from board members and administration. We still have Cromwell High School representatives here. Do you have anything you'd like to add? Okay. No? Devin? Okay. We'll just go around. Nothing, Matt? Adeline? Jen?
I just wanted to thank the teachers and administrators that plan the fun day at CMS. My son doesn't get excited about anything and just loved that day so much. They painted like Bob Ross. They did minute to win it games. They built structures out of pasta and marshmallows. He texted me everything he did. Floated gummy worms on paper clips. It was just such a cool day, and he had just the best time. I know a lot of students did, and I just want to let everyone know how much we appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Jen.
Lori, do you have anything? No. Dr. Macri? Catherine?
I just wanted to say that, kind of piggybacking on what Dr. Macri said, that it was so amazing to see our sports teams at the high school. I think it's going to make me cry, because they came back stronger than ever. They were absolutely incredible, from the football team and the soccer teams and our runners are unbelievable. We even had a wrestler going to Portland who did a great job, and I went to so many basketball games and cheer competitions because the cheerleaders kept winning and winning and winning. So it was exhaustingly exciting, and I'm super tired, and I'm sure they are too, but I'm super proud of not just the athletes, but our community that came out really, really strong in full force, from the football state champs to all of our basketball games. And there were even a good number of students at some of those cheer competitions. And it's just incredible to see our school spirit. I've never seen it this high before, and it helps that we're winning, but it's also a great uplift for our community. And I think the parents all agree that we're super tired, but super proud of all of these athletes and the supporters that they have. So, and thank you to Kelly Maher and Mr. Cockle, because they have gone to countless games and competitions. So we really appreciate all the support that they've given to these students, and they've worked really hard, and it showed. I know for cheer, a lot of squads did nothing last year, and our cheerleaders plowed through their limited access, and it paid off for them. So same with our basketball team. They went overtime. So congratulations to all of them.
All such great news. Thank you, Catherine. Kelly? Dipti? Kelly? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? Matt, second. Jen, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Meeting is adjourned at